Hi and a very good morning to Dr. Mushkan. We're from group 14 and today's presentation will focus on legal ambiguity in legal text and how the plain language can improve understanding for the non-legal audience. According to LEM315, legal language refers to customary language that used by the lawyers in their legal writing and also in their speech. And as stated by Teresma, legal text often includes many complicated features like long and complex sentences, redundant wording, formal phrases, unusual or old-fashioned words, and it usually impersonal to avoid bias. So for today's presentation, we'll focus on the Convention on the Rights of the Child, or CRC. It is an international agreement that focuses on protecting children's rights, and also it explains how the legal authorities, the governments, and the parents should protect the children's safety and also their well-being.
Next, we're going to talk about legal ambiguity. So what is legal ambiguity? So according to Law Definer, legal ambiguity refers to a situation in which legal language or provision can have more than one possible meanings that can create an uncertain interpretation and applications of the law. The first legal ambiguity is ambiguity word or lexical ambiguity. So according to the Sulan, lexical ambiguity is the legal text arise when individual words can carry multiple meanings. So let's start to analyze from the legal text that we have chosen. So the first ambiguous word that I identified is child, which is in the Article 1. So the article states that the child means every human being below the age of 18 years unless majority is attained early under national law. So this word is considered lexically ambiguous because its legal meaning is not entirely fixed. Although the convention generally defines a child as a person under 18, it is also allows countries to determine legal adulthood differently through their own laws. Like for example, in Scotland, under the Age of Legal Capacity Scotland Act 1991, individuals may exercise certain legal capacity from the age of 16. So as a result, a person who is considered a child in one legal system may receive different legal recognitions in another. So therefore, the words child create legal ambiguity because the interpretations may vary depending on the legal system that is being applied. The second ambiguous word is hazardous, which is in the Article 32 in the legal text. So the article states that the children should be protected from work that is likely to be hazardous or harmful to their development. So this word hazardous is considered ambiguous is because the convention does not clearly define what type of level of danger qualifies as hazardous. So different interpretations may exist. Some may define hazardous word as only physical danger, while others may include physical, emotions, or etc. Like parent, for example, they may interpret monitoring a child's message or online activity as a necessary protections. However, courts or child's right authorities may interpret the same action as unreasonable interference if it exceeds what is necessary to protect the child's welfare. So therefore, although the articles explains the context, the word itself remains ambiguous because it allows different legal interpretations.
Now, I'm taking over on ambiguous phrases. According to TESMA 1999, legal language frequently employ broad expressions that can be used flexibly to different situations even though they lead to different interpretations. So let's take a look at the first example, which is best interest, taken from Article 3. This phrase is identified as ambiguous because the convention does not specify what defines best interest of the child. So different authorities may select different priorities and they still claim that they are acting on the best interest of the child. For example, one authority may perceive best interest of the child in terms of their physical safety, so they must keep the child away from abusive parents. Or another jurisdiction may permit the child to stay with the family members. They think that it is best for the child to stay with the family members in order to take care of the child's emotional well-being, while the other may consider to relocate the child for better schooling because they interpret best interests of the child in terms of the educational development. So this ambiguity is deliberate. We know that legal documents strive for accuracy, but some legal documents intentionally preserve ambiguous phrases in order to allow flexibility to accommodate to every child within various cultures and different legal systems. Therefore, flexibility is prioritized over absolute precision. Another example is evolving capacities of the child. This phrase is ambiguous because what counts as sufficient capacities? It fails to indicate how to evaluate a child's abilities or at what age specific abilities are considered well developed. For example, a court might view a 14-year-old child is mature enough to make certain decisions. For example, they can express their preference regarding their education and their opinions would be given significant weight, while another jurisdiction may require parental involvement until the age of 16. So this ambiguity allows the convention to adapt to different level of the children's maturity, but it could lead to inconsistent application across countries because it does not establish a universal standard. So in conclusion, these phrases shows how international legal texts often employ open textured language. Rather than prescribing a single fixed meaning, ambiguous phrases serves a balance between legal certainty with flexibility, allowing interpretations according to different social, cultural, and legal contexts.
Hi, my name is Zhang Man. I will be talking about ambiguous structure, as known as structural ambiguity in the Convention on the Rights of the Child. The structural ambiguity happens when the structure of sentence allow more than one possible interpretation. In legal documents, sentences are often long and complex. Because of this, different readers may understand the same provision in different ways. So today I will discuss two examples from the convention. Okay, now let's look at the first example. The first example is from Article 9. This provision contains several clauses in one long sentence. Because of this, readers may be not completely sure how the examples in the sentence are connected. One interpretation is that it describes two separate situations: abuse or neglect by parents and parents living separately. Another interpretation is that the second situation is actually a continuation or explanation of the first one. So the sentence structure may lead to different interpretations. Let's move to the second example. Second example is from Article 40.2. This provision also contains very long and complex sentences. Because there are many clauses and additional phrases, it can be difficult to see which parts belong together. Some readers may understand that all the conditions apply to the hearing process as a whole. Some readers maybe think that some conditions apply only to parents or legal guardians. Because of this, different readers may interpret the provision differently. To conclude, structural ambiguity occurs when a sentence structure allows more than one interpretation.
Using plain language in legal text is actually very important for the non-legal audience or the non-legal reader's understanding. So it actually can be improved by replacing the difficult legal terms to something simpler, like simpler words, the words that we use in our daily conversation. So for example, we have the word state party from the original text, and then we replace it with the word country, so that it's actually easier for the audience to understand the text. And we found that the word country is the word that we're familiar with, rather than using state party. And legal text can also be clarified by avoiding vague and unclear phrases, so that the audience can understand the text from the first reading. So for example, we have the phrase family reunification from the original text, and then we reformulated it to bringing the family members to live together, so that it better explain the condition and the duration of the reunification, so that the parties involved doesn't get confused. Okay, and lastly, this example actually considered short because the original text is a bit long, and this actually has been reorganized because the original text is actually a bit messy. So we reorganize it so that the first sentence explain about the law itself, and then the second sentences explain on how the process should be carried out by the government.
Now I will discuss the benefits of simplifying legal texts for non-legal audiences. The Convention of the Rights of the Child is an important legal document that protects children's rights all around the world. Like many legal documents, it contains formal language and complex sentence structures that may be difficult for ordinary people to understand. So by using plain language, legal information becomes clearer and easier to read. This helps people understand their rights and responsibilities without needing legal expertise. It also improves communication between legal professionals and the public, ensuring that important information is accessible to everyone. One major benefit of simplification is that it improves understanding of children's rights. For example, Article 2 of the Convention states that all children should enjoy their rights without discrimination. The original legal wording is quite formal and may be difficult for some readers. A simplified version would be every child has the same rights regardless of race, religion, gender, disability, or background. This version uses simpler vocabulary and a more direct sentence structure. As a result, readers can understand the message more quickly and clearly. This is especially important because children's rights should be understandable not only to lawyers, but also to children, parents, and educators. Another important benefit of simplification is that it reduces misinterpretation. For example, Article 3 states that the best interests of the child should be a primary consideration in decisions affecting children. A simplified version is, when adults make decisions about children, they should do what is best for the child. This removes legal jargon while keeping the original meaning. Clearer language reduces confusion and helps readers interpret the text consistently. So the simplification also supports the purpose of the convention by promoting awareness of children's rights, encouraging families and communities to protect children, and helping children participate in matters that affect them. In conclusion, the Convention on the Rights of the Child contains certain ambiguous words, phrases, and sentence structure that may lead to different interpretations. By identifying these ambiguities, we can better understand how legal language affects meaning and interpretation. Applying plain English principles makes the Convention easier to understand while preserving its legal purpose. Simplified legal language benefits children, parents, educators, and general public by improving accessibility and reducing misunderstanding. Ultimately, clear communication helps ensure the children's rights are understood, respected, and effectively protected. That's all from us. Thank you.